It's supposed to prevent a serious health issue, but a local family suspects it caused a different one. We're talking about the HPV vaccine that boys and girls are now encouraged to get. Well, one mom believes that vaccine caused her daughter to start having seizures. Tisha Powell has her story and what medical experts say about it.
Carol Cabrera will never forget the night her 16-year-old daughter, Talia, the picture of health, had her first seizure.
I was dozing off, and all of a sudden I heard this bang, and I opened my eyes and she's on the floor.
As Talia jerked violently, Carol called 911.
The lady over the phone told me to put her on her side so she won't swallow her tongue or anything, and just monitor to see how long that she's having a seizure.
When I did wake up, there was ambulance there, and they were putting me in the ambulance truck to go to the hospital.
That was this past October. Talia has had at least 20 more seizures since then, the latest last month. It's all baffling to her mother, who says her daughter rarely gets sick.
She was a normal kid all her life, played sports since she was young. Never had any issues. Like I said, she only got the flu one time out of her whole life that she actually got sick.
But Carol says just 2 days before the first seizure, Talia got 3 vaccinations, one for flu, one for meningitis, and Gardasil to protect against HPV, the human papillomavirus that's been linked to cervical cancer. Carol went online to research each vaccine and found a lot of complaints and concerns about Gardasil. She's now convinced the Gardasil shot triggered her daughter's seizures.
Says some people who faint, might shake, or become stiff. This may require evaluation or treatment by your child's health care professional.
Talia has been hospitalized twice for seizures, though MRI results revealed no abnormalities, and she's on anti-seizure medication.
Now I take 4 pills in the morning and 4 pills at night.
Dr. Evan Myers is a professor in obstetrics and gynecology at Duke Hospital and an epidemiologist. He's done research on HPV vaccinations and cervical cancer prevention, and he was a member of the steering committee for Merck's Gardasil vaccine trials. He cites recent CDC data in saying that Gardasil is as safe as any other childhood vaccine.
Most serious side effects tend to be things like fainting, dizziness. The overall risk of a serious adverse event since Gardasil came on the market is less than 3 per 100,000 doses, which is very comparable to other vaccines.
Dr. Myers says for a long time only infants and toddlers were vaccinated, and that adolescents react to vaccines in different ways. He also adds some conditions may not be linked to the vaccine.
Many of the kinds of complications that are being attributed to Gardasil or other vaccines are conditions that first become apparent in adolescence. And just by chance, when you're vaccinating lots of kids, there are going to be kids who have the onset of a condition they would already be having within close proximity to when they had the vaccine.
The FDA and CDC say basically the same thing. They've reviewed many claims of side effects from Gardasil, including seizures, and say its benefits continue to outweigh any risk. And Talia's own neurologist tells us there's no indication that Gardasil caused her seizures. Still, with no history of seizure disorders in the family, Carol is not convinced her daughter would be suffering today if she had not received the HPV vaccine. Her mission now is to tell other parents of possible side effects and encourage them to do their own research on Gardasil.
Research the vaccination. Even though the doctors do tell you that the vaccination is supposed to help you, but there's always side effects.
Merck, the makers of Gardasil, gave us this statement, quote, "Nothing is more important to Merck than the safety of our medications and vaccines. The safety and efficacy of Gardasil was established in clinical trials involving more than 25,000 females and males, and while difficult to determine number of doses administered, more than 144 million doses of Gardasil have been distributed globally since 2006. There's no evidence that reported cases of seizures have been caused by Gardasil." As for Talia, she just got her learner's permit but can't drive until she's seizure-free for 6 months. She has 5 more months to go. Tisha Powell, ABC 11 Eyewitness News.
Thank